Hi, welcome to Philosophy 105, Introduction to Philosophy. I'm Dr. Sasser, and I'm so glad you've signed up for this class. Online classes are convenient, but they can often feel very impersonal. So I want to introduce myself and let you know I'm an actual person. I'm a full-time philosophy instructor here at Greenville Tech, and I also serve as the head of the humanities department. But the most important thing for you to know is that I'm really here to help you. I can meet with you through Zoom at almost any time, and I can meet with you on the Barton campus Tuesday through Thursday. If you just email me to arrange something, I'm fairly flexible. So let me talk you through some of the nuts and bolts of the class using the course plan as our guide, and we'll look at the Blackboard site as well. So let me share my screen with you. All right, so here's what you'll see on the website when you get there. And here's what you'll see. There's the Start Here welcome module. This is very important. We'll look at some items in here in just a second. But then below that, you'll see modules for Chapter 1, Chapter 7, Chapter 8, and Chapter 9. And all of our course materials basically are going to be in there. Some of these chapters will take us several weeks to go through, and some of them, like Chapter 1, we'll just get through in 1 week. But this is where all the stuff is located. I'll come back to that in a second. If you go to the Start Here module, the first thing you're going to see is the most important, the course plan. And I want to talk you through some of that in just a second. Other items that you're going to see are also very important. So here's our welcome video. Here is a survey of meeting times, which I need you to complete within the first few days of class. So by the 3 days into class, I need you to complete that. We're going to have Zoom tutorial sessions that are going to be offered at multiple times to accommodate your schedule, but I need to know when you're available so I can set up times that are convenient for you. Also, these two links will link you to YouTube playlists of videos that I've made. The first one will take you through lectures, me talking through PowerPoints for all the class material. And then the other one is a playlist of example problems, lots of example problems from all the chapters of me walking you through step by step how to do stuff. This is really where the core of my teaching happens. So this is very important for you to see, in addition to the live tutorial sessions that we'll have. You will also see here the concourse syllabus. That's very important. The syllabus quiz, you need to do that by the 18th, as well as the Arts and Sciences Policy Acknowledgement Form. Both of these documents need to be done immediately, along with a survey. Now, the syllabus quiz is going to be proctored using Respondus. And that's just really to test to make sure that you got Respondus up properly, that you know how to use it, and so that you'll be ready for the tests. It's not as though I really care whether you cheat on the syllabus quiz. But it's just to make sure that you're prepped for that. If you've never, that's it. And you can do these student introductions if you want. So that's some of the important stuff there in the Start Here module. Let's look now at the course plan. So if you click on this document and download it, you will see something like this. You won't see something like this. This is what you'll see. So it's got my contact information. I'm in the UT building on the Barton campus in room 243. I'm up on the second floor. Like I said, if you want to meet virtually or face-to-face, just send me an email here at my Gmail and we'll arrange that. If you email me, it would help me if you put Phi 105 in the subject line because I've got other classes I'm teaching too. Course textbook and materials. So you will need these items, right? You will need the course textbook. So it's Baronet, and the title is just Logic. We're using the 5th edition. I'll show you the hard copy. This is what it looks like. The most important thing really, though, is that you get the dashboard access card, and you can get that through the Greenville Tech bookstore. The dashboard access card is what is going to give you access to the all the homework problems that accompany the textbook. And so if you don't have the access card, then you won't be able to do the homework. So that's a big deal. So that's what's most important. Now, basically the way the access card works is if you look on the inside of this textbook, there's like a scratch off place here with your code number on it. That's what's going to give you access to the website with the homework problems. And I'll show you what that looks like on our Blackboard page too. So you can get this through, there's a link here to the Greenville Tech Bookstore, and you can order stuff that way. I'm sorry about the price. I'm sorry, nothing I can do about it. Okay, here's how homework is going to work. Each week, you're going to have a homework assignment, and it's going to consist of several problem sets. I'll show them to you on Blackboard in a second. The due date is going to be 11:59 p.m., just before midnight, on Saturday of the week on which it is assigned. Now, I know that a lot of instructors use Sunday as their due date. I use Saturday. To me, that's the end of the week. The homework assignments are graded proportionately. So some assignments, some weeks are going to have a higher number of points because there's more problems or they're weighted heavier, and some are going to count for lower. You need to be aware that the material gets harder as the semester goes on, especially when we start to hit chapter 7, chapter 8, chapter 9, things get tough. So you're going to need to get started on your homework at the beginning of the week. So if you run into problems, you can reach out to me and I can help you, and you can still get your homework submitted. If you wait until like Saturday or the weekend, I don't answer emails on the weekend. So, it's Saturday night and you're like, what do I do? Then I won't be able to help you. So, that said, actually, late work is accepted without penalty. So if you miss the Saturday night deadline, what happens? Well, not too much. I mean, you can do it the next day. However, I strongly recommend that you keep up with the homework schedule as if it was an all or nothing business. Because if you try to cram stuff or make up multiple weeks at a time, it will not work. You will collapse. So keep up with the homework. Tests you cannot make up unless you have a documented medical emergency that's stretched over all 3 days of the testing period. So, yeah. Now, one reason it does matter to make sure you get your homework done on time is that's how I take attendance. I take attendance by seeing if you handed in, if you submitted any of the last week's assignments. If you didn't submit any, by the time I take roll on Monday, you were absent. And as explained in the School of Arts and Sciences policies, if you are absent for 14 consecutive calendar days, and that includes like the holidays, like the July 4th holiday, it doesn't matter. If you don't submit anything for 14 consecutive calendar days, you're going to get withdrawn with an F. So be aware of that. Tutorial sessions. So this is an asynchronous class. There's not any particular times that you're required to show up and be on Zoom. However, you are required to attend at least 5 tutorial sessions on Zoom throughout this course, and you can pick which ones they are. I'm going to make multiple time slots available during each week based on a student availability. Now, so that means there's going to be like 20 slots available because we got 10 weeks of the course. I'm going to do at least 2 a week, 45-minute slots, and you've got to pick 5 of those to show up at. Now, when you do, you have to have your camera on, so I know you're actually there, you're paying attention, and I'm going to ask you questions. We're going to work through problems together, and so you have to at least play along and be tuned in. And you don't have to know everything, but you have to be trying in order to receive full credit for attending the tutorial sessions. There are 4 major chapter tests that cover chapter 1, chapter 7, chapter 8, and chapter 9. Those are the 4 chapters that we cover in the book. And the kind of questions that are going to be on this test will be the same kind as in the homework assignments. And that final test in the exam period is not a cumulative test. It's just your last test. It's the chapter 9 test. All the tests are going to be administered via Blackboard. You can take them during a 3-day window, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, on the dates that they're assigned. And you will use Respondus proctoring software. and you have to have a webcam. So those are the 4 major chapter tests. They're not too long. They're like 30 questions, but especially at the end, the last couple, when there's proof problems required, they're going to be challenging. You can always use blank paper on the test, but when you do, you need to like hold it up in front of your screen during the environment check. So I know there's nothing on them, right? And you're not like taking notes into the test because they're all closed book tests, but you can use scrap paper. Now, in addition to the major chapter tests, there are 3 rules tests. Chapters 8 and chapters 9 are going to require you to memorize over 20 logical rules. So you're going to be tested over those in a sequence of 3 rules tests, where you'll just have to write out the rules on Blackboard. Now, there's lots of resources and materials in addition to the textbook, along with the textbook, to help you. There's my videos, which I made. There's also, if you go to this link here, you'll see a lot of resources like flashcards, video examples from the publisher, all kinds of other stuff. So you can use that. I encourage you to do that. So those are major items. Let's look at the grade. Here's how the grade is going to be calculated. Tutorial sessions are worth 10%. So you have to go to 5 of them. So if you miss, if you only go to 4, that's 2 points off your final grade you're missing. If you don't go to any of them, 10 points off your final grade. Homework is going to count for 40%. One thing I should have said about the homework, you can submit and resubmit the homework as many times as you want till you get them all right and you get full credit, up until the due date. So and actually even after the due date. So you can submit and resubmit, but you get credit based on what you got right, not just on attempting them. The rules test, there's 3 of them, and they count for a total of 10%. The chapter test, there's 4 of them, they count for a total of 40%, so they count for 10% each. Important dates: first day of class is the 16th, the last day to drop is 2 days later on the 18th. Last day to withdraw is June 29th, and then here's our last day of class and exams. Okay, so when you look, here's what you'll see. 3 items that are due on the first Saturday after class starts right here. Then there are all these other items you'll see below are due at the end of the week, at the end of week 1 on the 25th. So here's all these chapter 1 exercises. Now, chapter 1, you're going to take a test at the end of that first week over chapter 1, and it counts for 10% of your grade. So it's a compacted class because of the summer, so this all gets jammed into one week. So be aware of that. So Friday through Sunday, including on May 25th, your chapter 1 test will be due. And when we get to chapter 7, we're going to spread that out over some more weeks. There's more material there. So we got 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then you've got the chapter 7 test. Chapter 8 is going to be spread out even more. You're going to have, you can see all this. There's your rules test. I won't go through all of it, but that's what this guide tells you is basically, here's the problem sets you're going to have to do. Here's how much they're all worth. And problem sets that involve proofs are worth more than multiple choice ones. So those are worth more. All right. Now let me show you what the homework is going to look like on your Blackboard site. So for example, here's the chapter 1 module, okay? First of all, here's the PowerPoints that I use in my lectures, so you got access to them there. Here's the ebook, which comes automatically with the dashboard, and here are flashcards, all sorts of other resources. Now, if you look in this folder over chapter 1, A through D, here's what you'll see. Again, tutorials, practice problems, but what you want to look for are the problem sets that have a due date on them, because those are the ones that count for a grade, okay? So here's the first set, 1B1, multiple choice exercises. Those are due on the 25th. This one, these ones with a due date are the ones that are due for a grade. The other stuff is just resources that are there for you. Here's the other folder, 1E through G. And this says week 2, but it's actually all compacted within 1 week. So again, here's a number of resources, and this has got a deadline on it. So this is what you have to do. It's all due on the 25th. So that's what that looks like. And then the chapter 1 test, which you're going to take at the end of basically the first week. Here's what you'll see. Right now, already you've got access to see the review guide. So if you want the review guide to see what's on the test, you can look at it right now. The test itself will appear and become visible and available to you on Friday the 23rd. And then it'll be unavailable when the due date rolls around on the 25th. So, and all the other modules look the same and they work the same way. So that's what you can expect in the class. I'll be sending out emails weekly to remind you what's coming up. And I look forward to learning logic with you and like to do anything I can to help you succeed.